How do you log server errors on Django sites? So, when playing with the development, I can just set settings.debug to true, and if an error occurs, I can see it nicely formatted, with good stack trace and request information. But on kind of production site, I'd rather use debug equals false and show visitors some standard error 500 page with information that I'm working on fixing this bug at this moment, smile. At the same time, I'd like to have some way of logging all those information, stack trace and request info, to a file on my server, so I can just output it to my console and watch errors scroll, email the log to me every hour or something like this. What logging solutions would you recommend for a Django site that would meet those simple requirements? I have the application running as VE server, and I'm using Apache Web Server as front end, although thinking of going to Lite.
Well, when debug equals false, Django will automatically mail a full traceback of any error to each person listed in the admin setting, which gets you notifications pretty much for free. If you'd like more fine-grained control, you can write and add to your settings a middleware class which defines a method named process_exception, which will have access to the exception that was raised. This URL. Your process_exception method can then perform whatever type of logging you'd like, writing to console, writing to a file, etc., etc. Edit. Though it's a bit less useful, you can also listen for the got_request_exception signal, which will be sent whenever an exception is encountered during request processing. This URL. This does not give you access to the exception object, however, so the middleware method is much easier to work with.
Django Sentry is a good way to go, as already mentioned, but there is a bit of work involved in setting it up properly, as a separate website. If you just want to log everything to a simple text file, here's the logging configuration to put in your settings.py.
Django DB log, mentioned in another answer, has been replaced with this URL.
Obviously James is correct, but if you wanted to log exceptions in a data store, there are a few open source solutions already available. 1. Crashlog is a good choice, this URL. 2. dblog is a good choice as well, this URL. What is the difference between the two? Almost nothing that I can see, so either one will suffice. I've used both and they work well.
Beethoven